I'm off to see the biggest movie of the year, Avengers Endgame, and my expectations are greatness, fire, greatness, something super duper. So let's hope it lives up to expectations. Hey, have you seen it already?
Yes.
Okay, don't say anything.
I saw it Thursday.
All right, cool. What do you think before?
My pre-score is going to be a 93. Just, I don't know, 93.
You think it's gonna be good?
Yes.
What about you?
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. All right, let's go. Excuse me. What? It's down there. It's down on the right. What, you lost? You mad at me?
Thank you. Get food over here, right? All my cashiers are out of front side.
RPX, right?
And 11 and 12, on 20 and 12
Thank you.
RPX.
Before it starts, what do you think?
About what?
What do you think? The hat is going to be good?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's going to be tremendous, spectacular, unbelievable.
Look, they took away the joints.
Jacket here.
Get out of here.
There's 1,000 people in this.
FYI, club head.
This doesn't look good to me.
Well, the performance of Will Smith in the trailer is not good. I think Tribble's in this. What? I mean, all right, we just saw Avengers Endgame. And here's what we thought. You wanna go first?
Sure. I loved it. I've seen it before. This is a repeat viewing for me, but it was just as good this time. Even better this time, actually, thank you, than it was the last time. The beats hit better, everything is able to take it all in more. It's a big movie, 3 hours long, and it earns its length. I didn't feel it really, but I thought it was fantastic. Particularly standout performance by Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., pretty much all the original Avengers. I love the movie. I would give it 92 out of 100. Not the best Avengers movie I've ever seen, but still very, very good and a great conclusion to the story starting 10 years ago.
I think I need to see it again. It's a roller coaster up and down. The beginning was a little long, or slow rather. And it was a roller coaster. So much towards the end. And also it seemed like while they were buttoning up a lot of storylines in the 10 years of films, it also seemed like, I could see like contract negotiations in the film, you know what I mean? 91, but I might edit that. I feel like if I see it a couple more times, it'll get better.
It'll get better.
I think so.
Anything you love? Any standout things?
Well, there's a lot of
Anything you didn't
surprises, a lot of things in the war scenes and the fighting that surprised me. I like that. That was good stuff. Like I said, the beginning was slow, and I don't feel like the end totally buttoned it up. But then again, you don't really button it up because they're going to make more movies, so you need to have some space.
All right, got it. What about you?
I'm like happy, sad, dreams. It was an incredible movie. 3 hours long, went very fast. I thought it was one of the best ones. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Acting was great. The battles were unbelievable. I felt like it was like the best one I've ever seen.
For battles or all of them?
All over. I thought the story, they tied the storyline from 10 years ago, and that whole thing, I wasn't expecting any of that. I wasn't expecting anything. And it was really cool. So I give it at least a 96.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, I wanted to love it. I said, wow. I was not expecting to be feeling like I'm feeling that coming out of this movie. This felt more like a tribute to the Marvel movies than an actual movie. The majority of what I see in this is a rehash of other things. I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to spoil anything, but just like, people are great. Iron Man's great. All the people that are in it are great. Thor is great. He's comical. I like that is now Thor. He's like a comedy piece to the whole Marvel universe, and he does it well. I didn't like the time that we spent with Hawkeye. I thought, who cares about Hawkeye? I mean, I can't believe you're wasting my time talking about Hawkeye, and this is the Endgame. That's not cool. Not cool, man. And let's see. What else? The fight scenes were amazing. CGI was good, except, the Hulk, some of the rendering on the CGI was like, I didn't love it. I was like, Sometimes his eye contact was sort of off a little bit. You could definitely, I don't know. I never had the moment where I was like, that's a real thing right there. I always knew it was a CG thing. And I know it's a CG thing, but sometimes your eyes can get tricked. That did not happen. I love the Hulk in this. I loved a lot of things about this. I loved many action sequences. I love that there's sort of like a heist aspect to this. I love that. I like the scientific jargon that they used. I love that. But ultimately, how they sort of get from point A to point B, the way they close it all up, all of that stuff, it was unsatisfying for me. And but even with all that, due to the spectacle and how great everybody was and all the fun I had, the last sequence, I was like a little kid again. I couldn't believe how cool it was. But I'm going to give it like an 87. It sounds like I crushed it, but this had the potential to be like one of the greatest experiences you could have. And it just was not that for me. So that's what I got. All right, let's do a spoilers. Let's come over here. So
which death most surprised you?
Which death surprised me?
Yeah, who are you surprised died?
Tony.
Really?
Tony Stark, he died. It's kind of perfect because he started the whole thing and it's sort of like a tribute to him as it ends, but...
It's that great line, I am Iron Man, when he snaps the gauntlet.
Right, but that was fantastic. That was all fantastic, except when you go, what's my favorite part of the Marvel Universe?
Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, without a doubt.
This is what I'm telling you, though. This is like the Emperor coming back.
Okay.
Tony doesn't have to be dead.
Oh yeah, that's the other bullshit. Oh, the gauntlet can change the reality of the universe with a snap, but all of a sudden you cannot bring back Black Widow. You can't bring back
Black Widow's
Gamora.
death is the one that surprised me the most.
You can't bring back
kinda
Tony
figured
Stark.
Iron Man and Captain America are going to be out of the picture, and I thought Captain America, the way he did it, was really.
And then there's a movie coming out for Black Widow, and Jack's it's a prequel. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need a prequel. It's just
Black Widow.
for Black
Yeah,
Widow.
but he doesn't have to be dead. I mean, you know,
They have the time stuff.
And what's the
Nick-
hammering
Nick-
at the very end? What's that signify?
I think that's just a tribute to Iron Man.
Oh,
Like,
hammering
design.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hammering
when
the-
he was making the
Listen,
suit.
Nick Fury was supposed to be dead for a while.
He was dead in the context of one movie for not even the whole movie.
Well, right. So I mean, you know, after he died, they still had the stones, and at the funeral, Nick Fury was in the background overlooking like he knows something. So they could easily.
Did you guys recognize the kid, the lone kid at the end of the funeral?
No.
like his son or something?
No, he is the kid from Iron Man 3 with the potato gun.
What was he?
Oh.
The kid with the potato gun for Iron Man 3 that he
Oh,
met when
my
he went
God.
off on his own.
That train wreck of a movie.
Well, there you go. However, I didn't know that either. I read up on it after. Yeah, that kid was the kid from Iron Man 3
okay.
all
So
grown
then-
up.
Who's the Asian kid with Ant-Man?
What Asian kid? With me.
Spider-Man?
No, I mean, was it with Hawkeye at the end?
Oh, his 3 kids?
His one son looked Asian.
Come on.
Yeah. And then we go back to Spider-Man, and the kid's still in high school. It's 5 years. What did he say?
The supposition is that they were all snapped too. Like all the kids, in order for the timeline to work out, because it's
So-
picking up
so
just where
now-
it left off. Every kid in his school, and half the population went away. Whole cities could have been snapped. So the fact that all the
now
kids
this
were
kid's 5 years older.
no, he's the same age as
Oh.
Peter. He was snapped like Peter was.
Oh.
All the kids. It's been a speculation online that every kid in Peter's class was snapped because they're still the same age.
No, that's no problem.
So that's why
Yeah.
why Ned is still the same age.
So then all of a sudden, Thanos' armor, Thanos' weapon is just as powerful as Thor's shit. But at the same time, Scarlet Witch breaks it. I mean, Cap's shield's supposed to be super powerful. It's not anymore. Why? Because of reasons. Fuck, it's like, come on. And then, I got the Infinity Gauntlet. I could bring everything back. I could change the entire universe. I can't bring back Tony Stark. I cannot bring back Black Widow. I tried. Bullshit. I mean, what are we talking about here? And then Captain
It's to give
America,
it stakes.
he goes out like a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, that's like a bitch move. Now I'm old and I got married. I'm not gonna tell you about it. Whatever.
He went back to be with the woman he said, I want to go back and be with Peggy Carter. Peggy Carter's the love of his life, and he never had a life with her.
He was
kill him.
only
Give him a
gone.
gauntlet and let him
He was only gone for what, 30 years?
Longer, 45 to now.
Okay, 45 years, but
Isn't he supposed to stay young?
yeah.
No, he ages slower. If you noticed, he was still looking very fit despite the fact that he was over 100 years old.
Man, I just
He looked like Joe Biden.
Hey, listen, they did his makeup great, because when I first looked at him, I was like, did they get another actor to play him in all those?
yeah, he looked great.
That's CG.
And
The
then-
aging CG, they're very good at. They did the same thing for Peggy Carter in Civil War.
I'm
or
just,
Winter
I don't know, man. I'm just like, why,
Satisfying.
yeah, like why are we spending time with certain characters? It just didn't.
Lebowski Thor gave me such joy.
Oh, and no stinger? No stinger about the future? Come on.
They just wanted to let it sit.
No stinger at all. We don't know what's going to happen next.
Well, that's going to happen next is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, well, Spider-Man's good, but, I mean, wow.
Presumably, you'll have War Machine.
Everything
take-
made sense to you in that movie?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I had a couple quibbles. I felt the girl power moment in the middle of the last battle was a little eye rolling.
My eyes rolled all the way around in my head.
So it was a little tough.
Oh, and then they can't.
I've been watching it 3 times. It's gotten a little less bad because they established the guys getting
I like
taken
the
out
convention
right
that Captain Marvel has to
so
go
it
to
makes
rest.
sense.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. There's other places in the universe, and then she comes back and lights everyone the fuck up.
Everybody else is getting
Like,
shot. And
we don't even need anyone. She could have just beat Thanos herself. Why do we even have anybody? It just like takes away from our original 5 that we're dealing with. I just, man, and so
They tried to squeeze too much in. They tried to.
and then
They tried to replay 10 years.
so then the future of Marvel is one without Downey Jr.
However,
Hey man, if you're gonna talk, you gotta so your voice, the sound of your voice travels over here. You're not in a different room. Fuck.
sorry.
Anyway, I think that's it. I mean, is there anything you else want to say about this?
I gotta see it again.
You gotta see it again.
I'd recommend
Any-
everybody see it twice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun enough to see it. It's fun enough to see it, maybe a return viewing. Just ultimately unsatisfying for me. And like,
I
look,
kind of felt the same way after the first time I
all
saw
of my
it.
quibbles,
After this.
I still give it like an 87. So what does that tell you? It tells you it's fantastic. It's better than most things you'll see. The action sequences are spectacular. The way they play off things. Captain America with the hammer was amazing.
He said finally saying Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
That
Tony
was
Stark snap. I'm Iron Man. I'm inevitable. I'm Iron Man.
It
Boom.
snaps. And how about them killing Thanos this time like Thanos in the first 15
I
minutes?
know, it was totally surprising, and I love that. I'm watching Ocean's 11. You know what I mean? Like Ocean's 11 is happening,
the
but
great
through
heist.
with time. I mean, so that was really cool.
And the pairings were so good. Tony and Steve in their
Yes.
last go round. Of course you want those 2 guys
Right.
together. And Ant-Man being the third, and Hulk with the great thing with Tilda Swinton, the ancient one.
And
how about that?
You notice they left some pin particles, so maybe there's something with that too. When he grabbed 4 of them, he left.
He didn't want to take them all. That would be really obvious to hang.
I think
Because
he's
they're not
gonna.
bringing those back.
Well, I think he's gonna know that someone took 4.
But they snapped him back, so he can make more.
All right. Any final thoughts?
He can make more.
Final thoughts? Anything?
I love the movie. I like
Watch
it
it
back.
back,
I like
watch
it
it
better
back.
and better.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right. That's it. Peace and love. Bye.
There's nothing at the end of this?
No, not a thing.
Literally nothing.
There's a neat credit sequence. I would stay until the credit sequence.
Oh, no, I thought there was something at the very end.
Not a thing. I've seen it twice.
Really?
Not a thing.
Where's the hammer?
Cap took it back to Asgard. Thor needed it. He borrowed it from Thor.
What do you mean he took it back to Asgard?
Using the.
That's where he went? Back to Asgard?
He returned all the stones back to where they belong. He took the Tesseract back to 1970.
Are you recording?
All right, do it again. Do it one more.
Ah, fuck it, you come. Okay. So, now you're covering this microphone is on the sides. Okay? You ready to go?
Yep.